People can call you ugly and you're not even ugly.
Why do you think someone would call someone else that? Where does that stem from?
Well, in high school and junior high school, people like to make fun of other people. They like to form packs of people and they hate each other. I don't know why they do that.
Continues into adulthood. I see it in my adult friends.
Yeah.
It does continue.
But not as bad. Like, I work at Columbia and I've been working there since 1985. I have 3 degrees from Columbia. It's nothing like, even in the public colleges, I don't feel like you have the same kind of attitude. I feel like when people hit 18, they suddenly become less asshole. I was being teased throughout school, even when I was in first and second grade. The kids started teasing me.
What were you teased for?
I don't know. I think it's because I didn't want to fit in. I didn't care about fitting in with other kids that much. I mean, I was an adorable little girl. If you look at pictures of me, I mean, I had like blonde curls, bows. It was adorable. But then kids would just fucking... I think it's because I didn't try to fit in with other people, and I just was myself. I had people made me lick up spit. There were gangs of people. I was called names and tortured throughout, especially in high school and junior high, but even in grade school, from the first grade on, I was tortured by other people. The Gerry party. I don't drink water. I just drink gin. Yeah, I'm crazy, but I always win. Down with yuppies. They're super boring. I'm out dancing while you're all snoring. It's the Gerry party. I mean, that's my theme song, but then again, I guess I like fun, dancey stuff. Like, I'm very fond of the Chipmunks. You know Alvin and the Chipmunks? I got a feeling. Or, you know, shaky groove thing. I mean, I like songs that are upbeat and fun and full of energy. I am like a boy. I mean, in terms of my personality, I would say I'm fairly masculine because I'm powerful and I feel like I'm just as good as a guy. And there's very few guys that can fuck with me. But I would say in my relationship, though, I let men dominate me, unfortunately. Men that have domination issues are attracted to me because I'm a wild thing. So I always get these guys that are either violent, they have bad tempers, and they've imprisoned me and made me like a prisoner in there and around them. And so I do tend to feel like I let people... In one way, I am a traditional Italian-American housewife type. My mother was a dish rag. Literally, Italian-American women, they tend to like wait on men like servants. Everything, I tend to favor men, which in one way I don't want to, but it's just the way I was put up. Like my grandmother, if somebody would come into the house, like one of my friends, and he needed his shirt ironed, she'd practically have an orgasm. Let me iron his shirt. Oh, can I feed him?
They get excited,
whatever.
yeah.
It's like, this is thrilling.
Well, it's caretaking.
I'm sort of the same way, in a way. You wouldn't think I am, because I seem like I'm not at all that type. But I do like cooking for people. I do like, you know, I do think I cater towards a man. Sometimes I've faked orgasms. Yes, depending. I feel like because sometimes you really like a person, but the sex wasn't that... Well, maybe they just didn't make you come, and maybe they're just not... I think some men don't exactly put an effort into figuring it out, or maybe you're new and you just started seeing each other, and you don't want to disappoint the guy. So it is, I would say, extremely common, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that it's bad if you do it consistently, you know. And if you're a hooker, certainly you're going to do that. Because
what's part of the job then?
You want to get rid of them, for Christ's sake. Give me the money and leave. Freedom means... I feel like in our culture today we actually don't have freedom, because I feel like everything now has become one giant no, one giant impossibility. Having to have, like, okay, if you in New York City right now have even the slightest slip up, like, okay, I'm sick, or something is wrong, like, you have to have keys, you have to have ID, you have to have money, you have to pay rent, and if something gets messed up, you could be thrown out of your house and put on the street. I feel like life has become so regimented in New York right now. It's a bummer. It can be a bummer. Like, I feel like I still have freedom in myself, and I keep myself free mentally. I don't worry that much. I feel like my mind is usually clear, and I'm feeling good most of the time. But I do feel that the way that our society has become is everything is a giant no. Everything has to be done by a certain kind of bullshit thing, and I think it's a way to cramp creativity. I feel like we have let ourselves become prisoners of the system. But all I'm saying is I feel like everybody, the basics of humanity are that people need to eat, they need to sleep, they need to have sex, you know, have family, children, whatever. But I feel like to do those things nowadays, and to do them with any degree of safety, and you have to, like, screw other people to get money. And now it's like if you don't have quite enough money, you're really like in a bad situation. So I feel like our world has become a very empty place in one way. I feel like we've let ourselves become, I feel like there are many people that don't want to be that way, but we're sort of in this system now where we can't get out of it. Americans are open to things in one way. They're much more quick and able to change. I feel like Europeans are boring. They're often boring. They're stuck in their ways, and that's why they often come to the States, because they get stuck in this like world where they have the same friends, the same people, the same job for the rest of their life. But in another way, it's more humane because people actually know that they're going to have an apartment to live in. Whereas in the United States, you can get kicked in the fucking street. But on the other hand, I think Americans, if you look at us as a group, for some reason, some of us are so judgmental, so racist, so homophobic, so like conservative. I mean, but I feel like it can kind of it can go back and forth. So like you could have Democrat be, then you have Republican. But I feel like in one way, our people in America are very afraid, so they will go towards the sort of conservative person because of fear. But I guess it's also because of our economic structure, because you never know when you're going to be thrown in the street. So people, I think, in one way are scared. And so they're like, shit, I better vote for Bush, even though he's an asshole, because maybe he'll make my life easier or something, even though they know perfectly well that they won't actually. But, I mean, I think that there's merits to being an American, and then there's merits to not being an American. I feel like in many ways, though, even though we're ignorant assholes, I feel like it's probably more fun to live in America than a lot of other countries. Fuck marriage. But on the other hand, I'm not opposed to people obviously getting married, male, female, same sex or opposite sex, but I really believe in communal marriage. I feel like we should all live together in some fabulous art place, in a huge house. We should have sex with different people when we feel like it, although we could have our main partners. And I feel like we should raise families together. I feel like people are so isolated in this culture, and I feel like being in a couple is kind of boring and stupid. But I feel like people need to have that. People like to fall in love and have a partnership. But I feel like it's doomed. It's to do with yourself also. You feel like it's a way, it's almost like kind of an affirmation of yourself. But in one way, it's kind of narcissistic, I would say.
Oh, love is completely narcissistic.
Yeah. A lot of times you fall in love because of yourself. But I feel like it is a pleasant sensation. But I feel like it could be possible to be in love with people and not necessarily be married. I think monogamy is stupid. But I feel like cheating on somebody openly and making them unhappy is not good either. I feel like it would be great if we were able to get beyond these basic levels and have a better, more open situation where people could have some sex. I feel like the whole nature of sex, I feel like God, if there is a God, played a cruel joke on humanity. Like having sex in one way has to be furtive and forbidden for it to be fun. To be turned on, you've got to be doing something that's a bit forbidden.
Why is that? Why is that? Why can't we just enjoy the physical act? Why is it psychologically packed?
Yeah, that's true. Like,
charged?
Well, I feel like you can enjoy the physical act, but I feel like in order to truly get turned on and super turned on, it's probably got to be either with somebody that you shouldn't be having sex with, or that you don't know that well, or like, you know, something like, okay, your best friend's girlfriend, boyfriend. I mean, I don't know why that is. I feel like it's something to do with the hormones. It's some kind of somehow people are evil. I feel like every person in the world has mental problems, and they should have it because they're human beings. And if they deny that they have them, they're lying. Okay? Most people are depressed in this world. I'm not really depressed. I will get depressed briefly. I'm hypomanic, which is, I'm lucky. I think it's partially chemistry and genes. But
I'm very manic, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
I'd rather be this.
Absolutely. But I do feel like it is hard to be positive sometimes, because everything that you do, there's going to be some like problem. Somebody will say no. It's like hard to just walk down the street and just say.
Well, it requires faith.
And then people, when you are that way, people try to shoot you down.
They do.
They all try to shoot you down. I can think of so many teachers that tried to make me feel lousy about what I was doing. Instead of commending me, they were like, oh, you're no good at this, blah, blah. Well, you know what? If I were to see them again, I'd kick them in the fucking face because they're wrong. I was good at it. I was good at it, motherfucker.
Why are we skeptical of kindness?
Well, because usually a lot of people do it because they want something back. But what I want back is just having a good time and enjoying company. I'm not trying to get, like, I'm not trying to be nice to somebody so I can get